Good morning, YouTube. Like, subscribe, and share. All right, I'm going to talk about a couple things today. All right. First thing I want to get out of the way here is, the very first thing is GYPSY Rose Blanchard as ashblond6. Now, number one, we all know that GYPSY Rose is ashblond6. We know that. If you don't believe that still, I don't know what to tell you, man. She's too bothered by all. The last video I made on her talking about we need to be careful, pay attention to her with the crib thing, like the playpen thing 2 videos ago. Well, last night she went fucking crazy, man. 7 comments and they're going crazy. I guess she thinks people are going to go in there and read her comments and think that, wow, this ashblond6 person, they really know what they're talking about. This video is bullshit. We should listen to her. I don't know. It just makes her look like an idiot because everyone there knows it's her, you know? But she'll never learn. This is part of what I want to talk about today, about her. But I want to say this first. We all know it's ashblond6, right? She made a comment, you guys, that said this. The only reason that any of you believe me and watch me is because of my hair and my eyes. Now, do you know how ridiculous that is? Okay, I could maybe get 2 or 3 people in the whole world wanting to view me just because they like my hair and eyes. I could maybe go for that. 2 or 3 people in the whole world just tuning in to see my hair and eyes. But to say that they only believe me, they believe what I'm saying because of my hair and my eyes is patently ridiculous. You see how psycho she is? This is what I mean. But anyway, so you guys, I got to get some things out of the way. You guys, listen to me. When you're telling the truth, you don't have to worry about, no one's going to catch me in inconsistency or a lie. You're just not going to, okay? People are trying, man. God damn, they message me, they email me, they're trying. But you guys, when you're always telling the truth, you don't have to think about your answer. I don't ever sit and think like a bunch of these fake content creators, besides Ashley Baby. I don't sit there and think, she's not fake at all. I don't sit there and think, well, how's the way I should say that? What's the most politically... I don't want to offend anyone. There's groups out there I might offend if I... No, the truth is the fucking truth, and I just say it. I just open my camera. I don't edit. These people edit things all day long. It takes them fucking all day to make one little video because they edit it, they redo it, and they do... I just open the camera and do my thing, okay? All right? Snorting, ticks, the whole thing, all of it. I don't care, okay? Because I'm the only one... I'm one of the people not being fake and telling you what's what, all right? Okay, so... I got to get this out of the way. I made a couple videos back. I said I was talking about something that I know about medically, but I said I'm not a doctor. I've never claimed to be one. I got these people. See, you lied. We caught you. You must be one of her minions and all this shit. You said you were a nurse and worked sometime, and so this is what I mean. How people are. A nurse and a doctor are way different. I've never diagnosed anyone or anything. I carry out the doctor's orders. You see, that's how that works. You see what I mean? They conflate the two. You said, no, I said I was never a doctor. That's different. So let's just get my history out of the way again, guys. You have to have a bachelor's degree in something to go to law school. They won't even talk to you until you do. You got to have that, and you got to take something called an LSAT test. It's a test about logic and reasoning and shit, okay? That's all to get in. I chose nursing only because I didn't have parents with any kind of money. In fact, if we're being truthful, once I was a nurse, I was sending home money to them. All right? All my friends in law school, they all majored in criminal justice, and most of them political science, a lot of them. Business administration, history, shit like that. Okay? I did nursing so I could work part-time through nursing school. I mean through law school. I did something called a Baylor plan. Some of you nurses might remember it. Maybe they still have it. You work on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, 12 hours each day, either 7A to 7P or 7P to 7A, and then you get the rest of the week off. They pay you for 40 hours, okay? But you don't get any benefits. Okay, that's what I did, and I went to school. All right? Never been a doctor, but I've been a nurse. But my wife is a shrink, okay? So let's talk about it. I want to talk about GYPSY Rose Blanchard's psychological profile. Now, my wife made it very clear, and she's got nothing to do with this. This is me having a discussion with her. She's not, just leave her out of it, okay? She's just helped me with some questions. She can't diagnose anyone or even hint at it long distance. You can't do that over a video or just watching them in the public stuff. You can't do that. She says you got to have them in your office over and over. We ask them all kinds of questions. We know how they respond, how they act, how they look down, how they look at people, all kinds of shit they watch for because they're trained. That's what they're doing. So just so you know, when you guys go to a shrink's office, the first few visits, they are examining everything you're doing. I mean, everything you're doing. You wouldn't believe the shit they're looking for, too. crazy shit. How you blink, how just everything, all kinds of shit. If a little noise happens, how do they react? Do they fucking freak out? Everything they're watching to come up with what they come up with. Okay, so this is what I think. Number one, she has borderline personality disorder, 100%. Okay, and she has problems forming relationships, and she can't do a relationship. Not any of her relationships are stable. Every one of them are fucked up, and they always are because she's the problem. Borderline personality disorder, just like Jodi Arias. That's what this bitch is, okay? And she's also a covert narcissist. If you don't know what that is, if I think about it, I'm going to link them down below. If not, go over to YouTube. Well, we're at YouTube, I guess. And just type in covert narcissist. Now, stay away from the real religious ones because they're going to take you down where they're just demons. They're demons. They're just evil. Which these people are pretty diabolical. I think there's some evil at play with them. But look for the PhDs or the psychiatrists, or there's some of them that are survivors of it. Like there's an attorney on there, but she's a survivor of narcissistic abuse, but her husband was a complete fucking wacko. Look up these people that are reputable and watch, and you'll see what I'm telling you just from watching this bitch from afar. Number one, you can tell by all the comments she makes. She's passive aggressive. She's a snotty bitch. Right? Like she'll do, like one of my comments was, oh, you're in the medical profession now. She says, oh, what, were you cleaning toilets? Or she'll be like, well, you know what, if you would have done your research like the other content creators, you would know that. Or very condescending, very passive aggressive. Okay. But they always do it with plausible deniability. When they make their little comments or their little wisecracks or their little digs in you, it's always like where they can leave it up to, oh, wow, I was just kidding. Or, well, I meant everyone else, not you. These are the people that say, when you say, oh, I've lost 10 pounds, I'm down to 142 pounds. And then they go, really? Wow, that's great. 142, you don't look that big. You see what I mean? That's what this bitch is about. She's passive aggressive. She walks around with this air of arrogance that she's better than everybody. And she does. All this she is a piece of white trash that scammed with her, illiterate, that scammed with her mother her fucking whole life until she got sick of her mother and she sacrificed her for fame and fortune. And that's the only reason she's anything at all. And she walks around though with this air of arrogance that she's better than everybody. But they call them vulnerable or covert narcissists because they will at the same time act like they'll self-demarcate. They'll act like, oh, I know I'm not as good as everyone. I know I'm just a piece of, remember with Ryan? Instead of just sending him a video or calling him on FaceTiming him or anything, she makes a video for 10 million followers to see her crying. I fell in love with a piece of shit like me. See what they do? Oh, poor little me. I'm just poor little vulnerable, generous, kind. Everyone that meets her says, oh, she's so cute and sweet in her little voice. Right? That's their mask. That's their narcissist mask. They're covert because they're down low and they try to act like they're generous and great and wonderful and they'll help you and all this shit. But meanwhile, they're in the background trying to cause trouble for everybody so they can control the situation. They also have an uncanny ability, and watch her in interviews and stuff and watch her with other people on lives and stuff, to look at you while you're telling them something of importance or anything. And they look at you like they have no interest in this. And they all do this. Once you figure out you got a covert narcissist in your life, they're easy. Because you'll see they all do the same thing. That's what's weird. They all do the same shit. They have an uncanny ability to look at you like they're not paying any attention to you. Like they don't give a fuck what you're saying. Like, this is so important to my life. Why do I give a fuck? And they'll look at you like, but meanwhile, they're actually taking in everything you're saying. I don't know how they do it. Because they're remembering it so they can use it against you later. And they're always running around setting up little things everywhere that they can fall back on. Starting little troubles all over. You can see, I have a million different things that GYPSY Rose has done. They do things like the love bombing, like how she did Ryan. Then they do the triangulation. We know all of the things that she's done there. Well, I'll go over some of these later, but she's a covert narcissist with borderline personality disorder, 100%. Okay. And what else do they do? So what I'm saying is she thinks she's better than everybody, but see, she'll run around and pretend like, passive aggressive as hell. Just look at the comments. She's evil. is what I feel that way. I feel like she's evil. I mean, look, she fucking slaughtered her own mother for fame in exchange for fame and fortune. And then she blamed it all, set up and blamed the whole thing, hunted a man down that was disabled on the autism spectrum with low IQ, other mental health disabilities, and was collecting a disability check at the time. We know the drill. She hunted that. She looked for that, guys. So she is evil. But I just want you to know her psychological profile here, okay? And I just wanted to clear some shit up. I'm not lying about anything. You're not going to find me an inconsistency. You can try all you fucking want. And if I tell you something is, if I say with 100% certainty it's true in effect, that means I know it is for sure. Not I'm guessing it, or it has to be that way, or the way I look at it, it can only be. No, I know for certain. Or I won't say it. Now, the stuff with the Bible, my religious things and all that, these are things I've been taught. This is, of course I can't prove, I don't know. But if it's coming from prophets and angels and shit, and it's old writings and the shit's always matching and always the same over the years and all these different, you know, and it makes sense. It makes more sense than what they're trying to tell us. Okay, I got a lot more videos, a lot of things to go over with you guys still. All their lies and all their bullshit to fool us and trick us with everything. Everything in history they've taught us is a lie. Everything. And that was their plan, man. But anyway, so GYPSY Rose Blanchard, borderline personality disorder, okay? Borderline personality disorder. She's a narcissist is her deal. Covert narcissist is what she is. And I'm going to go on a limb and say she's a malignant one. Okay? And to make her malignant, there's these subsets that have to go. And one of them is sadist. And if you're a sadist on top of being a covert narcissist, then that's what you're a malignant one. And sadism is what marks you as malignant. And I believe that's with her because she gets off on hurting people. She totally gets off on that. She got off on how she did Ryan. That is, she set a man up to marry her in prison. So the minute so she could get out 7 months early. And the minute she got out, she did nothing but start the wheels to get away from him. Do you know how disgusting that is? How she drugged that man out for years, a couple years, writing her, giving her money, phone calls, letters, visits, all that shit, guys. And wasn't he from Louisiana? If he goes to visit, that's in Missouri. Think about what she did, guys. You have to be an evil motherfucker to do that. Right? Normal people won't just do that to get out of prison 7 months early. I told you guys it was her first offense. They couldn't max her out. Her final date was going to be June 25th of 2025, whether she was in the slammer or out on the streets, because that was 10 years from the crime. The crime, remember, they got arrested like the 15th, but they were held in Wisconsin for 10 days. The minute they hit the jail in Missouri, their time started. So she got to the jail on June 25th of 2015. She got sentenced to 10 years. You get your jail credit. So 10 years from that day, which was June 25th of 2025, the bitch was free no matter what. That was her plea agreement. Unless, of course, she caught a new charge. But that wouldn't have affected her parole anyway. It would have been a new crime. Her parole was ending that day no matter what, guys. And in Missouri, your first offense, they cannot max you out. Which means the last year, which means June 25th of 2024, they had to let the bitch out on parole no matter what to do the last year on paper. They had to. But if she would have violated any time in that last year, they just would have sent her back to the county jail to finish her time out until June 25th, period. She did this to this man, this plotting, this planning, took an advantage of this man, Ryan, only to get out of prison 7 months early. Now think about that. She destroyed a whole man like that. Of course, now he's benefiting from it, but whatever. And I got the way he still defends her, I got nothing for him anymore. But I was very sympathetic for him at first because I knew what they did. Right away, I knew what that was. Okay? I knew right away what that was. Okay? And so I got no sympathy for him now, still defending her and all that shit. But whatever. Well, my 15 minutes are up. I'll see you in the next video.